Welcome to my channel. But my name's Shakira. This is my very first video, so those of you who are going to be rocking with me from the beginning, thank you. Much love already. I feel love, I feel the connection. I'm so excited to go on this journey with you guys, but even more excited to take you guys along my journey through medical school. So that is the primary purpose of this channel. I just want to document my journey through my 4 years of medical school, and then probably even beyond on a residency, and then when I become a physician, you know, just share some helpful tips and hints and things to pre-meds, to students who are in high school thinking about becoming a doctor, students who are in med school and have a lot of questions, because you know, I've just been recently accepted. Well, in February I got accepted into LSU, baby. Ooh. Go Tigers! I got used to saying that because I am a Tulane University alumnus. I don't really know. Grammar was not my strong suit, obviously. Otherwise, I would have majored in English or something. Like I said, I want this video to mainly document my med school journey, but you know, being a medical student is not my identity. You know, there's many things that come into this beautiful package that I want to share with you guys. You know, I'm really into fitness. I was a Division I athlete at Tulane University. I played basketball. So, and currently I am a group exercise instructor at Tulane University campus rec. So I can maybe even share some, you know, fitness tips with you guys. Obviously, I am a natural queen, so if you guys like what I got going on up here, I guess I can share with you, you know, some of my natural hair tips. I am a Christian. I'm very, very active in my home church, as well as a visiting church that I'm a part of a life group. Primarily, the purpose of this video was to share with you 5 easy ways to get into med school. So, the first and foremost important thing is you need to stand out. And I know that seems really, really broad. You can stand out in a variety of ways. So my way of standing out was, like I mentioned earlier, I was a Division I athlete. I don't really know the statistics about the percentage of athletes, not just Division I, but Division II, Division III, NAIA, that go into medical school. I don't know the percentage, I don't know the exact numbers, but I do know that it's a very, very low percentage. You know, on your MCAT application, you say that you were a Division I athlete. That really, really stands out. That really shows that, you know, you have put in the hours in more than one place. It really shows that you know the meaning of dedication. You know, there's no way that I could have been an athlete 4 years in college if I wasn't dedicated to it, because trust me, it is not, how can I say this without offending somebody? It's not what it's cracked up to be, you know, as a spectator, as a casual fan. Oh, hey puppy. You know, you see the athletes get the awards at the end of the year. You see the athletes, you know, get the cool gear, walk around campus. You see the athletes in the games, but you don't see the 6 a.m. grinds. You don't see the being lucky to be in class 3 days out of a week, sometimes during conference. You don't see the travel schedule. You don't see the trying to study on the plane or in the airport because you have a final or a test Monday morning and you've been in, you know, Houston all week playing a conference game. You don't see having to make the choice between showering or getting lunch after practice before going to class because you don't have time to do both. So it shows dedication. It shows time management skills. It shows that you know how to work well with others, that you have good teamwork skills. So not all of us are fortunate to be Division I athletes, but there is something that you can do to stand out. You can be the president of your sorority. You can be heavily involved in your sorority, even if you're not the president. You can put in a lot of hours with service, organize events with your sorority. You can do community outreach with your sorority. You can be really into acting in theater. You can produce or write your own play on campus. You can be known for that. There's something that you can be known for that will help you stand out and make you unlike all the other applicants. Number 2, I strongly advocate getting a master's or post-bac degree after your undergrad experience. I finished at Tulane, and then I did a 1-year's master's in cell and molecular biology, directly following graduating from undergrad. And I honestly don't think if I had that experience, or if I had that to put on my resume, that I would be where I am today, about to start med school. Doing a master's just gives you 1 more year to really see if this is something that you are dedicated to. Because in undergrad, if your major is biology or chemistry or public health or whatever, you have a lot of science classes to take before you graduate, but they are spread out, and you probably take no more than 1 or 2 a semester. Whereas in grad school, that's all you take. As a prime example, my 2nd semester of grad school, I'm just going to do 2nd semester because it's more fresh in my mind, I took anatomy lab, histology lab, biochemistry, and biomedical ethics. So, and that's a crazy lineup. And a lot of those classes are things that you're going to definitely take in med school. So it gives you a glimpse of, what that med school science rigor would be like. Also, it can give you a chance to redeem your undergrad degree if it's not the most desirable on a med school application. My undergrad GPA was a 3.4, which when I tell people that, they're like, wow, like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that being a Division I athlete. And sure, 3.4 is really good, but it's not very comparable to med school applicants all around the country. So I just wanted to go the extra mile to be able to increase my GPA and help myself stand out a little more. So my GPA in grad school was a 3.8. I ended up only making 2 Bs. I made a B in biochem, which that was actually the 2nd time I took that. The first time I took it in undergrad was rough. And then I also got a B in cellular neuroscience, which I took that class only because I didn't have any neuroscience background at all. In undergrad, I was cell and molec. I didn't really know a lot about neural anatomy, that kind of stuff. So I felt like it would be a good opportunity to take that class. Number 3, have some really good, solid clinical experience. So during grad school, I also was a scribe in the emergency room. Basically, for you guys who aren't pre-med and don't know what it is, or even if you are pre-med and you still haven't heard of it, basically you work in an emergency room or a clinic side by side with a physician, and basically your job is to document all and everything. So you document their history, a present illness, you document their chief complaint, you document if there's any imaging done, any x-rays, any CTs, you document, any medicine given, basically everything. And so what that does is help decrease the amount of documentation that the physician has to do so that it can solely focus on patient care. But it allows us to learn a lot. I learned a lot about healthcare, a lot about medicine, a lot about the lifestyle of a doctor, and I did that for an entire year. What that does is show to the medical schools that you're applying to that this is something that you're invested in, that you've seen the life, you've seen, all the gross stuff. You may not know what medicine is all about, but at least you have a pretty good glimpse of it to be able to decide if this is something that you want to give 4 years of your life to. That's something that's really important to them because they invest time and money in every person that they admit to their school. And it also doesn't really look good when their graduation rate is bad, when people enter med school and they drop out for various reasons. But one reason is that they just realize it's not for them. And this is something that could have easily been avoided if you just would have invested your time into getting ample amount of clinical experience. Number 4, getting good quality letters of rec. When it comes to letters of recommendation, quality is definitely better than quantity. I believe I had 5, but they were all well-rounded. They came from people who have seen me through different walks of life over different time periods in my journey to medical school. So I got 1 undergrad professor who I made an A in her class. I got 2 grad school professors who I also made A's in their class. I got 1 of my coaches, which of course, if you're not a Division I athlete, just apply that to someone in leadership position in something that has meant a lot to you and that you've invested a lot of your time into when you were in undergrad or grad school. I got 1 from a doctor who I scribed with in the emergency room. I actually had 6. I got 1 from someone at a site that I volunteered at, like the volunteer coordinator or the person who hires volunteers. In this, I've done a lot of volunteer work, and this place meant the most to me, and I felt like I had the most meaningful patient interactions. So I was able to share that with her, and she was able to kind of highlight a little bit of that in my letter. So, like I said, make sure that you get well-rounded letters. And I got someone who's seen me, play basketball and show dedication to that. I've got someone who's seen me in a more professional environment and show that I can exhibit professionalism, show up on time, and excel in the workplace in a medical field. And I've got people who've seen me in the classroom, which obviously is really important because grades in med school is, what's going to get you through. Number 5. This kind of goes without saying, but a good MCAT score. I probably can't really speak a whole lot on this because my MCAT score wasn't amazing. I only got around the 50th percentile. I only took it once, and even though I didn't, overperform or do as well as I wanted to do, I felt like the rest of my application really spoke for itself. It was really strong. It was really well-rounded. I had 2 degrees, scribing experience, Division I athlete, and I was an in-state applicant. So I felt that as though my MCAT score could kind of be a weak link per se. And that's not to say that would work for everyone. That is just, people that I've spoken to has given me advice, people who have applied to med school before, people who have graduated med school, getting advice on whether I should study again and retake my MCAT, and also just praying and being led by God and the Holy Spirit. I just realized that, I was pretty sure that my MCAT score that I got was good enough to get me in, and thankfully it was good enough to get me 2 acceptances. I don't really want to go into right now how many places I applied to, how many acceptances I have, how many wait lists and such, because that would be another 10-minute video. So if that's something that you would like to hear, like a My Journey to Med School video, which I'm sure would be really relevant so you guys can get to know me a little better, just comment below and tell me if that's something you'd like to hear. Yeah, that's basically it. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. I forgot to mention this earlier, but another reason I'm doing this, not just to document my experience, but I really enjoy helping and mentoring people who are, trying to get where I am. I really wish I had someone, to drop a hat who would answer all my questions and just make me feel better about this process altogether. So I don't really come from a family of doctors. Like I said, I was an athlete, so I wasn't surrounded with a big community of people who were also pre-med. So the whole thing, I was kind of just going to it blinded, and thankfully along the way I was able to meet people who, helped me, but it still would have been helpful if I had all that help from the beginning, just to kind of, ease my state of mind about the whole process. You can drop a comment below, or you can follow me on Instagram at Shakira, SHAKIIRA, and 3 Y's. I'll put that tag on the screen as well. So thank you for watching my first video. As you'll come to learn, I am a talker. Every video will be me talking. Hopefully I'll do some, vlog videos about, the day in the life of a med student, or maybe even show some of my workouts that I've put together for my fitness class that I teach. Maybe even show you some Kobe time to my baby. But thank you. Please subscribe, share this video. If you know me personally, screenshot it, give your girl a shout out. If you don't know me personally and you still like the video, please do the same. I'm really just here to serve the Lord and serve his people, so that's what this channel is all about. So thank you.